a certain group of people. They are affecting all of us. When you find authoritarian leaders, they're not only kidnapping and disappearing a certain group of people, they're kidnapping Ugandans. We stand here as Ugandans, we stand here as Africans, and we raise our voices to you, IMF. Please do the right thing. Work with the Ugandans, work with Africans, work with civil society organizations. Stop erecting dictators. Stop funding genocide. Stop playing deaf and dumb about the human rights violations. Now, this is where I want us to reason. On several occasions, we have had engagements with the administrators, with the directors of both the IMF and the World Bank. And friends, when we meet these people, we speak with them and we tell them exactly what we are talking about here. But on that note, I want to quote the following people. Whenever we talk about human rights in relation to IMF funds and World Bank, the administrators of these institutions would say their operation agreements and articles and clauses do not permit them to interfere with the politics of member states. IMF here has actually said their role is to fund, not to interfere with the politics of Uganda. Their role is to fund Uganda, but they are not concerned about the human rights violations in Uganda. The same thing happens with the World Bank. They've said their role is to fund development in Uganda, but they are not concerned. Actually, their articles, their operation agreements do not permit them to interfere with the politics of Uganda. And when I say politics, quote me right, when I say politics, it includes the following. The kidnaps, that is politics. Human rights violations, that is politics. The murders, that is politics. Museveni killing 45 students in Kasese, that is politics. Museveni encroaching and waging war on South Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia, the South African Republic, that is all politics. But how is Museveni able to pull off all these dark missions of his? Because he's protected by the IMF, he's funded by the IMF, he's funded by the World Bank, he's funded by the US government. When Museveni kills Ugandans, that is politics. But Museveni uses the money he gets from the IMF and World Bank to purchase the weapons, to purchase the tear gas, to purchase the poison from North Korea and Russia, to kill Ugandans. And IMF will say, we cannot intervene, because that is politics.
It is all about money. They are making money in Uganda from our gold.
What actually IMF is not telling us is, they cannot interfere with Uganda's atrocities, because Museveni is their puppet.
Yes.
IMF and World Bank will not interfere with Uganda's politics because they have an agreement.
Yes.
The agreement they signed between these institutions and Uganda's Museveni, it states that none of them will interfere with each other's business.
Can you imagine?
Those are the clauses that IMF and World Bank and the US government do not disclose to the public. Those clauses and articles state that IMF, World Bank, the US government will not interfere with Museveni's business if they are to work together.
Why are they giving him money?
Now that is the business. They give him money.
What business to cost?
And he exploits the resources from the region.
Yes.
And when Museveni kills our people, the US will go down. The IMF will say our clauses, our articles do not permit us to interfere in that politics.
Because we are busy mining our gold and oil.
That is right. Those are the clauses the IMF and World Bank does not disclose. And we are here telling you, IMF, do the right thing. Stop making dictators.
Tell them
Stop creating authoritarian leaders.
Yeah.
Stop creating and empowering authoritarianism in Africa.
Yes.
When we talk about Museveni, Museveni is not just a Ugandan problem.
Yes.
Museveni is an African problem.
Yes.
And Americans, let me tell you this, Americans, Museveni is going to be an American problem very soon. Because Museveni is working with Russia. We all know what Russia is. We know who Putin is. Museveni is working with China. China over the years has been running their intelligence in the United States. Museveni is working with North Korea. And we all know what North Korea is capable of. If there is ever going to be a third world war, it is going to be between you American people and those other three people, the other three. And this is because US's influence in Africa is going to disappear.
Tell them they need to know this.
US's influence in Africa is going to be eroded by Russia, by North Korea, by China, working with Museveni. For those of you that don't understand why the US is so, why these three superpowers are so interested in Uganda, let me tell you why. Uganda is a very landlocked country, and it is surrounded by all the main, the main natural resource, actually the richest natural resource countries. We are talking about South Sudan. We are talking about Sudan. We are talking about Congo. We are talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo. We are talking about Rwanda. We are talking about Burundi. We are talking about the Central African Republic. All these countries are rich in minerals. Now, some of the minerals, when we talk about minerals, the first thing all of us will start thinking about is gold. We'll start thinking about copper. We'll start thinking about diamonds. But there is a mineral called uranium that is being used. It actually is the main ingredient, raw material used in manufacturing and producing nuclear weapons. And that mineral is in Uganda and Congo. Now, if Russia is already attacking Ukraine, China is also at war with Taiwan and other neighbors. North Korea is a problem, and they are working with the dictator Museveni. Imagine where is America's superiority in the next 5 years? Because we already have nuclear warheads in Uganda. They are being manufactured in Uganda by North Korea. And the US is playing deaf. The US is playing deaf about these nuclear warheads. There is a whole plant of nuclear weapons in Nakasongola. America is playing deaf. But just imagine what would come out of all this silence. It's high time, Americans, you stand with Ugandans. It's high time, American people, you hold your senators accountable about America's foreign policies. The reason we are all here is because of the edged American foreign policies on Africa. We need to hold our representatives and our senators accountable. Fellow Americans, there is a resolution 543 that was introduced by Senator Bob Menendez. We are asking you, let us press the senators and representatives to vote on this resolution. Everything we are talking about here, the American foreign policy, it is under that resolution. Yes. And we are also requesting our senators and representatives, please make sure that this resolution passes. Yes. Senator Robert Menendez, please reintroduce the resolution. We understand there was a lot going on in the US, but please get the resolution running once again. We are willing to contact the senators and the representatives to vote on this resolution. And to the IMF and World Bank, please stop funding. Stop funding the dictator. Please, you're funding another Al-Shabaab. Oh, Americans, if you really thought that Osama bin Laden was worse, if you thought that Saddam Hussein was bad, Museveni is worst.
You are creating another bin Laden.
Museveni is worst.
You are creating another bin Laden.
Another bin Laden was created. And he lives in Uganda. And that is Muhoozi Kainerugaba. So, allow me to stop here for now. But we continue to the State Department. And then we shall go to the White House. And then we shall go to the United Nations. Thank you.
Corruption! Corruption!